have two sophomore speeches today, so.
So very quick announcement, reminder that the juniors versus faculty volleyball game is today at lunch in the gym. Also, next week there's going to be a really fun themed spirit week. The theme is going to be time, so we're going to start off on Tuesday to see how quick you are on your feet with a dodgeball game in the gym. Wednesday will be Decades Day. So 8th grade is going to be 50s, 9th, 60s, 10th, 70s, 11th, 80s, 12th, 90s, and faculty and staff are going to be 2000s. Thursday is going to be a school-wide Kahoot about York history and facts in the theater, and Friday will be Futuristic Friday. Thank you.
Okay, so Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and I'm just up here, not just because I'm one of the few African American students, but because I was incredibly interested in talking about this. Pretty much on Monday, and Monday's not only an important day because of Martin Luther King Jr., but because of what he stood up and what he believed in. One of his quotes is, "The moment that we stop living is the moment in which we stop speaking out about the things that matter." So really and honestly, Martin Luther King Jr., I would not be at this school today if it wouldn't have been for him. I would not be able to go to the same bathrooms as my Caucasian counterparts. And it's not just about African Americans. I feel like there's a lot of things that we can change. And I feel like everyone here should look at it on Monday as something, what can I do to change the world and make it a better place? So if you have something that you want to change, whether or not that's for the gay rights movement, or LGBTQ, sorry, or the women's movement, or animals' rights, or something else that you have deep down, you have to have the bravery to be able to speak out about it. And I mean, really and honestly, that's all that matters. So on Monday, try and do something for someone else. That's what I feel is important and why this day is important, not just that we do it.
Thank you. Important reminder that one of the things that we do in here is talk about serious things and affirm values that the community holds. And you've just spoken eloquently to values that York considers important and that we hope our whole nation, our whole world will embrace. Thank you. Two quick things. First, a word of welcome. We have some visitors on campus, some guests, parents of future Falcons. Welcome. Secondly, I hope you noticed, those of you who walked by the front of the school, there are two big blue PG&E trucks in our parking lot. The reason the power that we had went off about 9 o'clock is because they cut it off so that they could work down the hill. No promises, no guarantees. Mr. Brookhauser is fond of pointing out that one of the important concepts in modern psychology, a guy named Abraham Maslow, a pyramid of human needs, and the base of the pyramid, physiological needs, food, water. But below that may be access to Wi-Fi. So I just want to thank you for your patience and understanding. Praise your resilience. This is fortunately a minor setback in the great scheme of things, not all that important. On a certain level, interesting to approach the things that we do every day slightly differently, not forever. Any moment now, power will come back on, and life as you know it will be returned to normal.
Hi, sisters! So in case you haven't heard, Winter Ball's coming up. Yeah, we'll be selling tickets every day until Friday. Singles are $25, couples are $45. So please come and by, and Leo. So, Kate. There's something I've been meaning to ask you. After getting protected by Charlotte, I knew that there would be only one person in this entire community that I want to go to Winter Ball with. So, Winter Ball. Anyways.
Welcome to come. We're going to be selling tickets, as Cynthia said. We'd love to see you out there, so grab the tickets. Thank you.
I woke up with both my legs this morning. I was able to breathe this morning. I felt my heartbeat thunder in my chest. I could hear my malicious alarm clock go off 10 minutes early, and I could see my way to the kitchen that smelled of savory bacon and burnt toast. Life is an unpredictable, uncontrollable roller coaster with twists and turns and highs and lows. It's a roller coaster that makes you scream, shout in excitement, and scream in pain. It shakes you in every way possible before its unforeseen plunges or its inevitable end. Until the summer of 2011, my roller coaster was steady, and I therefore took everything I had for granted: my friends and my family, my food and my home, and my life. I figured my life would always be as great as it was, and I'd always have my luxuries with me. It wasn't until I hit a cold wall of reality that I realized the true value of what I had. I had to lose something to realize how much it meant to me. I didn't know what Leber's disease was until it robbed my cousin of his vision. Abel Del Toro had everything going for him. He was smart, athletic, well-mannered, the list goes on. We used to play sports for hours on end until each and every muscle in our body ached. Baseball, basketball, soccer, football. It was an endless routine from the minute the sun rose to the time it set. I wanted our friendship to stay this way forever. In fact, I assumed it would. Suddenly, things began to change. Abel acted differently. He wanted to go inside because it was getting dark, only it was barely 3 p.m. He would struggle to pass the ketchup, for which I asked him. To see was no longer an easy task. In July of 2011, my 14-year-old cousin was diagnosed with Leber's disease, a genetic disorder that deteriorates the cells on the optic nerve, causing blindness. We were told Abel had 6 months left before he became completely blind. And sure enough, he didn't see our Christmas tree that winter, nor did he see the fireworks on the next 4th of July. His world went dark. No more heart-melting rainbows, and no more inspiring sunsets. Our relationship was forever changed. We no longer spent time together the same way. We had to wrap a soccer ball in a plastic bag just so he could hear it coming towards him. I had to guide him up the trees we used to climb up with ease. He could no longer cheat in the game of Marco Polo. I have a new cousin. His name is still Abel, and I still admire him. That won't ever change. But I also lost a cousin. I lost the athletic, energetic Abel who always kept me entertained. It's never easy to lose someone who's still alive. I can't bear to imagine the struggle Abel underwent when losing his vision. It made me wonder what my life would look like without my eyesight. Action-packed sports, intriguing movies, and spectacular views, I would lose it all. Every day, I try to be grateful for every morning that I wake up healthy and for every evening that I come home to food on the dinner table. I now know to be grateful for the life I have and everything in it, so that when my roller coaster reaches its unforeseen plunges or its inevitable end, I will be ready. I woke up with both my legs this morning, with both my eyes. I don't know when my eyes will give in, but for now, I'm grateful to be able to see for my cousin who no longer can. Thank you.
No limits, no filter. I write until my hand hurts, and even a little more. My journal is like a second brain, a memory storage. My dedication to keeping my journal began with my desire to know who my ancestors were. As I began doing genealogy work in 2015, I realized that I knew nothing about my ancestors. They kept no records of their memories and left me to my own imagination of who they were. To this day, it astonishes me that for 4 years I've been doing genealogy work, looking for the names of hardworking people that made it possible for me to exist, and yet I don't know a single thing about them. Who was Porfirio Cuevas Perez, or Isaura Barragan? What did they do? What did they value? All of these unanswered questions resonated deep within me. On July 18th, 2015, I decided to begin keeping my family's history, starting with me. At first, I recorded my thoughts every single day. I wrote about little things, both good and bad. I also reflected on important events in my life. However, as time progressed, I, like most teenagers, got lazy. And recorded less and less. Not only that, but my interest in genealogy work diminished as well. In April of 2017, my great-grandmother came to visit. My mother encouraged me to sit down with her and listen to her stories. At first, I was hesitant, but as I began to listen to her stories, I became more and more intrigued. Not only did she praise my great-grandfather for the hardworking man that he was, she also told me about his mistakes and his flaws. As I was writing down her stories, like when she tricked my not-so-sober great-grandfather into eating a skunk, I was reminded that the journal wasn't for me. It was for future generations to learn from and hopefully not repeat my mistakes. It was my hope, as a result, my journal became less focused on myself and more focused on life lessons, like the importance of forgiveness and self-confidence. It was my hope that my journal would not only guide my descendants, but also give them insight into who I was as a person. A couple of months ago, I read one of my old journals, laughing at both my writing and my adventures. Revisiting the memories of my youth generated nostalgia, and this nostalgia made me realize that I was doing a disservice to the kids of tomorrow by not letting them know who I really was. I failed to write about the little things I once cherished as a child, like chilling at the beach with my friends, or finally finishing a good book. I realized that future generations needed to know that I was neither some philosopher like Plato, nor some life coach like Oprah, but a human, both good and sometimes a little bad. Feeling pressure to be the best at everything, I realized that I'd been stuck in a world so quick to judge that I was even scared to be judged by my own pen and paper. I thought that if I didn't sound smart, I would be mocked or scorned. Seeing the errors in my ways, I began to write about who I really was and what I actually did. As I began to write more honestly, I was able to see how I've grown as a person and how I tackled new problems. In it were not just facts, but my tears as well as my laughs. My journal became more real, more true. Instead of teaching about life, it was filled with life, my life. Journaling makes me feel like I'm a part of something bigger. With my journal, I can see who I was, I know who I'm becoming, and I know who I don't want to be. In a sense, it's the purest form of art, because it's so real and honest and true. It frustrates me that my one connection to my ancestors is a mere list of Isauras and Porfirios, whom I'll never come to know. Yet I am proud that my future Isauras and Porfirios will have a true sense of who I am and the life I led. Thank you.
Yeah. We learn to appreciate things after we lose them. So it's the Wi-Fi. Yeah, the student center is much more quiet. Go to class. Come to the volleyball game.